Before we start, ask yourself this brutal question. Why does making a six-figure salary in America today still feel like living paycheck to paycheck for so many people? Robert Kiyosaki answered this decades ago. He had two fathers. One was highly educated, a school professor. The other never finished 8th grade but was a financial mastermind. One said, "Study hard, get good grades, find a secure, high-paying job." The other said, "Learn how money works, buy assets, create freedom." Both men worked hard. Both were highly intelligent. But one struggled financially for his entire life. The other became one of the wealthiest men in Hawaii. Why? The difference wasn't luck. It wasn't education. It wasn't talent. It was mindset. And that mindset changed everything. Today, we are breaking down the real difference between rich and poor thinking. Not based on theory, but based on the timeless lessons from Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Because the truth is, most people are trapped in a financial prison, and they don't even know it. The biggest lie about money. From childhood, society conditions us to believe one major lie. Work hard for money. Go to school. Get a job. Work harder. Get a promotion. Work even harder. We repeat this cycle for decades. But here is the million-dollar question. If hard work alone created wealth, why are millions of the hardest working people in the world still struggling financially? Why do people grind for 12 hours a day and still stress over bills? The answer shocked Robert Kiyosaki. The poor and the middle class work for money. The rich make money work for them. The poor chase a salary. The rich build systems that generate income. One exchanges finite time for dollars. The other exchanges scalable assets for dollars. And that is exactly where the game changes. Assets vs. liabilities. This is the single most important lesson from the book. And it is surprisingly simple. The rich buy assets. The poor and middle class buy liabilities. The tragedy is, most people don't know the difference. An asset puts money into your pocket. A liability takes money out of your pocket. Look at the modern American trap. Financed Teslas with massive monthly payments. Credit card debt used to fund luxury vacations. The rat race. Now let's talk about the trap that keeps millions of people stuck for life. It's called the rat race. Imagine a hamster running furiously on a wheel. It runs faster. It burns more energy, ... But it never moves forward a single inch. That is what most financial lives look like. You get paid. You spend ... You pay off credit cards. You get paid again. You spend again. Then you get a raise. But immediately, your expenses rise too. You upgrade your lifestyle. You buy a bigger car, a bigger house, more subscriptions, more debt. Suddenly, you are making way more money than before, but you aren't any wealthier. You are simply running faster on the wheel to keep up with your debts. That is the rat race. The rich escape it by buying assets first before they upgrade their lifestyle. And before they show off their success. They build their cash flow first. And then they let their assets pay for their luxury. Most people reverse the order. And they pay a heavy price. The hidden enemies, taxes, and inflation. The ultimate battle isn't happening in your bank account. It's happening in your mind. The poor think a higher-paying job solves everything. But here is the catch. The harder you work for a W to salary, the more you pay in taxes, and the more cash you leave sitting in a bank. The more inflation secretly steals your purchasing power. The rich don't chase higher salaries. They chase equity and assets because they are taxed less and grow with inflation. Fear keeps the masses trapped, fear of losing money, fear of failing. So they stay in their comfort zones, and comfort becomes their prison. The rich think differently. They invest in their financial education before they invest their money. They know a truth most people ignore. Your mind is your greatest asset. Once you understand how money works, money starts behaving differently for you. A modern example. Imagine two friends working the exact same corporate job in America, earning the exact same salary. Friend number one uses every bonus to buy the newest gadgets, expensive clothes, and luxury experiences. On Instagram, his life looks incredible, but he owns nothing that generates income. He is one layoff away from disaster. Friend number two lives below his means. He automatically invests in index funds, builds high-value skills, and starts a side hustle online. 5 years later, their salaries might still look similar on paper, but their financial realities are worlds apart. The other is buying his freedom. That is the power of mindset. It's not about how much you make. It's about how you think. Being wealthy doesn't start when you get a lot of money in your pocket. It starts when you get financial education in your mind. Because if your mindset doesn't change, more money will only cause you to make bigger mistakes. The poor mindset works for money, spends first, buys liabilities, and follows the crowd. The rich mindset makes money work for them, invests first, builds cash flow, and thinks long-term. Wealth isn't built overnight. It is built through thousands of tiny financial decisions made day after day. The question you should ask yourself today isn't, how much money do I have? The real question is, what am I building for tomorrow? Financial freedom doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. If this video changed the way you think about money, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment below. Write asset if you are ready to start building real wealth. Or write rat race if you realized you've been stuck on the wheel. Remember, the rich don't work harder than everyone else. They just think differently. And sometimes, one single shift in perspective can change your entire financial future. Fix your mind, fix your wealth. See you in the next lesson.